I had the opportunity to review two BenQ monitor light bars, and by opportunity, I mean I went out and bought my own because I needed better lights. You interact with both models by touching the top of the light bar instead of adjusting a hockey puck on your desk. In today's video, we review the Pro model, the Screenbar Pro, but we don't just list specs like every video out there and call it a review. We cover build quality, functionality, impressions, brightness levels, color adjustment, and cool other functions like proximity sensing, auto on and auto off, and auto brightness. Even though the Screenbar Pro is only $30 more than the Screenbar, it eclipses the base model Screenbar in terms of features and value. I recommend the Screenbar Pro as a good purchase over the base model Screenbar, which is most of the cost, but not nearly the same amount of value. The packaging is solid, thick, and better than budget options. If Apple packaging is a 10 out of 10, this is a 7 out of 10 quality-wise and an 8 out of 10 design-wise. Everything is packaged up nicely. They include a nice webcam accessory that's usually $20 to mount a webcam on top of the Screenbar. Setting up and using the Screenbar is easy. Simply mount it, plug it in, and you're good to go. The build quality is noticeably better than other light bars. While the main body tube that encases the LEDs is cheap, flimsy plastic on other brands like the QUNTIS, which I recently shared my experiences with and returned, BenQ doesn't embrace that nonsense, and their screen bars are made inside hollowed metal tubes. Everything about this screams quality. The weight is high quality metal and plastic and rubber, and is eons ahead of the cheap QUNTIS light bar. The buttons are capacitive and feel nice. The counterweight uses substantial materials as well. It actuates nicely without creaks or groans. The light is spread nicely and evenly on my desk, and the level indicator is subtle, yet pretty to look at. The buttons are supple, but also pleasant to look at. There's a proximity sensor cleanly integrated into the counterweight mechanism. Something I didn't realize I would even have to talk about is the rotatability of the Screenbar inside its mount. I recently reviewed a light bar so cheap, it damaged itself every time you rotated it inside the mount. So I guess I'm talking about it. The BenQ mount is nicely designed such that the light bar rotates without issue, with little to no resistance, and doesn't risk damaging itself nor the screen with the pressure required to adjust it. I didn't know screen bars by cheaper brands would have this issue in 2025, but here we are. The BenQ has no issues when it comes to rotation. This gets bright and illuminates the desk very well. It has more LEDs than the base model. It has 16 levels of brightness with 8 discrete levels. This covers most of the desk with comfortable light and covers 100% of my main work area. I love how everything is built into the Screenbar. There are distinct buttons for turning brightness or color adjustment on. There's a left and right arrow button to adjust levels. There's a clear indicator light bar that tells you exactly what you have your light bar set to. There are 3 buttons in addition to those. One to toggle proximity sensing, which is an awesome feature that lets me forget about the light bar, more on that later. One button to turn on auto brightness, and last but not least, a power button. I like to set my office lights to a brighter, cooler white, closer to 5000 Kelvin daylight setting to be productive. This Screenbar has no issue being adjusted to this color setting. I'm not a photographer, nor am I sensitive to the range of color adjustment, so there's not much else on that topic in this video. It does what I need it to do. For a detailed range, I'll link the product in the description for more details about color. I found no issues using this with a modern monitor, the Dell U3225QE, which has pretty narrow bezels already. The mount is redesigned, so it covers even less bezel area than old BenQ Screenbar models. The new, redesigned counterweight works wonderfully on this new screen. It presses up against the hard plastic shell of the monitor rather than against the screen, and has nice, thick rubber padding between the light bar and monitor, so there's no damage to the liquid crystal display. One of my favorite features, and one of the reasons I might actually return the base model Screenbar and buy 2 Screenbar Pros, is the auto on and off feature. There's a proximity sensor built into the counterweight mechanism that detects your presence, and I found this works very well. Just toggle it on via the button on the left, show up, and your desk lights up. I've tried my best to trip it up, to be useful and make a good video for YouTube. I found it works well in every scenario I've thought of. I've tried messing it up by not moving much or approaching slowly. It always eventually turns off and on like clockwork, and doesn't turn off if you're at your desk. Best yet, if you just stopped by your desk and didn't want to leave the light on after it turns on automatically, you can hit the power button and turn it off, and that doesn't disrupt auto on and off. It just turns it off for that instance. Very well done, BenQ. While I like the build quality, at roughly 110 for the base model and 140 for the Pro model, you get so much more with the Pro model. Some of the features include a level indicator, a better, newer counterweight, and a proximity sensor, as well as better, brighter, more powerful lights. If budget is the main concern, then I understand getting the base model, but if you can spring an extra $30, you get so much more with the Pro model. I like that we don't need a puck to use this light bar. At $140, while it's not cheap, I've come to learn that that is a good thing. The BenQ Screenbar Pro has high build quality, great functionality, and a terrific user experience. And if you're springing for it, I recommend getting the Pro model instead. I highly recommend this purchase, and I don't think you'll regret it. And thanks for watching.